Hi, and welcome back to another Catholic Call podcast. On today's on today's podcast, Deacon Steven has prepared for us some subjects. So, what are we starting with?
Yeah, so we our two major topics for the full conversation will be we're going to talk about popular culture and we're going to talk about prayer. So that's kind of what I was thinking about. So starting with popular culture. So the right now, probably if you're watching it, we are currently right before Advent. It's Christ the King is coming up in a couple of days. But while that's when we're recording this, by the time it's actually up on the internet, it's going to be almost Christmas or already Christmas. It'll either be the end of the Advent season or the Christmas season. So figure we should probably talk a little bit about Christmas. I just think so. Something that we've been thinking about, and I've been talking with my middle schoolers a lot about, is that there is a lot of themes of faith in our pop culture. There is a lot of good messages we can kind of draw out of things. I think that one of the things about being a good evangelist is to find the good in things. While we certainly could criticize things in our culture, we certainly could. I think sometimes the more important and more challenging thing is to think where there's good things in our culture that we can find. So that's actually how I wanted to start with just a conversation about pop culture is. So the general question that maybe we can go back and forth about is where have you seen something in pop culture, in popular media, in a book, a movie, a song, a TV show, where you actually think that's a really good message and something that we could reflect on or see a message of faith or draw some sort of gospel message out of. And to start, like, what is a Christmas piece of media? So is there a Christmas movie you especially like? Is there a Christmas song you especially like? Does not have to be overtly religious. It could be just something where you're like, yeah, I really like um, this and why. So
I think I'm going to start with. Is it a hot take? I don't know. Hot take. Um. Okay. It's not probably not religious at all. It would be the song "All I Want for Christmas Is You." See, nowadays we're more about like gifts and like the not the event, like not the Bible event, not the faith, the event that happens that is very important in our faith, but we're more worldly. It's more like a worldly um, uh, just celebration now, and so this song, just this maybe just this part, I don't have the whole song by heart, but just this part is "All I Want for Christmas Is You," talking of course about Jesus. We're waiting for him. The only thing we want for Christmas is receiving him. He enters the world. So the only thing we want for Christmas would be Jesus. It's not the meaning at all of the song,
of course,
but you could flip that and be like, all I want for Christmas is Jesus.
yeah. No, you could. I actually think it's a I find a couple of people have given me advice about this idea of like praying secular songs. And what that means is like you listen to a secular song and maybe it's not what the singer necessarily intended for it to mean, but you can find a message in it, you can pray along with it, you can sing it in a different way. So I think that's or take a message from it. I was discussing with my middle schoolers at the end of last year. We're going off the Christmas. I'll give my Christmas answer in a minute. But we were discussing. Have you heard the Miley Cyrus song "Flowers"?
No.
Okay, so in this song, it's a breakup song, and she
Of
has
course, like most of
just
the songs. Yeah.
she's just gotten rid of a boy, and in it she basically says so she talks about how poorly this person loved her, and so it says and so the refrain of the song is basically like I can love myself better. And so that's called flowers because I can buy myself flowers, I can buy myself chocolates, I can do all the stuff, and it ends I can love myself better than you can. And so we were talking about like, in one sense, the first time I heard it, I was actually like, what an insanely narcissistic song. Like, is there anything we can't just do for ourselves? But the truth in it that I've come to kind of think about is that she was being loved poorly.
Mm.
This person was not loving her well, and none of us want to be loved poorly. And that's a truth. Like in the song, she was at least wise and aware enough to know that this relationship was a destructive one and this person didn't love her the way, like, each of us wants to be deeply loved and known, and this person wasn't doing that. So while I think that maybe she should go to church and go and find the love that only God can provide, like our hearts are restless till they rest in thee, I think that song answers half of the problem, or I guess the problem.
Acknowledging that there is a problem
Yeah.
at some point, that these worldly things can't fulfill us. That at some point, like, you can't, talking maybe about the world, you can't, like, you don't love me as I deserve, maybe, yeah. So talking about the worldly things, they can't fill us as God would. So that's, as you said, that's already half of the problem. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I think and so then the next step would be, I think the implication would be, of course, that, like, well, if I could just find the right relationship, but of course, what we would try to then offer is that even the best of human loves is going to fall short. So obviously C was in what sounds like a very toxic and self-destructive relationship. But even if she found another human who loved her as well as a human could love her, that's still going to fall short. I mean, like, I'm speaking from experience, I'm in a wonderful marriage, but, like, my wife is not everything to me, nor could she ever be, nor could one person ever be. She's a lot to me. She's my favorite person, like my vocation. We have a family together. I love her very, very, very much. But even she cannot love me like God can love me, nor can I to her. And I think that sometimes we destroy relationships because we just ask too much from them. We ask for a person to fill every part of our heart, and that's just not possible for a single human person to fulfill. So while I'm sure Miley can love herself better than this other person can, Jesus could love her even better.
yeah,
I hope that they cross paths.
yeah, because you know, Jesus knows you better than you know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
He knows at you as as your creator. He knows you deeper and better than you could ever imagine. He knows what's good for you, even if you can't see it or don't want to see it.
Yeah, knows the true you. That was something else. We were talking with kids of, like, I say to them often, you haven't even met you yet, because the real you is the saintly you and the you that you were made to be, and you're still this impure, imperfect you on the way to becoming. So you haven't even met you yet. You think you know yourself so well, you haven't even met you yet, the real
good.
you.
That's
So
good.
that's a good one. So that was a good song. All right, I kind of ran off. Then I gave a song. It wasn't a Christmas song. Do you have another piece of another Christmas thing? I guess maybe I'll. Oh yeah, well, let's stick on Christmas for a minute. Do you have another Christmas item?
Yeah. First, do you guys at home have any Christmas song you'd like to share with us? So in the comment below, you can just leave, like, your favorite Christmas song, or that, of course, follows our theme here. Piece of content, movie, show. It can be even a show. What else?
Movie, book.
Book. Yes. Like, yeah, I don't have, like, a lot of Christmas books. Christmas books.